Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the thrilling conclusion of the Super Metroid playthrough. I mean the thrilling end part of the Resident Evil 4 playthrough. No, it's Devil May Cry. But this is the worst mission in the game, in my opinion. It's basically just one big cutscene in which a few fights are thrown around.
Do you have to fight the enemies, or can you just sort of run past them?
Most of the enemies you can run past. There are 2 rooms where you have to fight enemies to break a curse door. And then, there's the boss.
There's another boss. Huh.
Yeah, the boss, by the way, might as well be the final part of Resident Evil 2 Scenario B.
Complete with rocket launcher?
Yes, complete with rocket launcher.
This is a Resident Evil game, don't you know?
So do you still have the same 5-minute time limit? Like, do you have to beat the final boss within the 5-minute time limit you have here?
Actually, the time limit only applies to getting to the final boss.
Alright. Okay.
And you won't need nearly that whole 5-minute timer. It's like the 10-minute timer at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII. If you fight every battle, you'll still get to the end of the area with, like, 3/4 of the timer to spare.
So if you don't get to the boss in time, does it get bored and just walk out, and Dante feels really bummed out?
Well, if you don't get to the boss in time, the island explodes. At this point, I think the mission screen shows up again. No, it's when you take this elevator up. It's like, for some reason, in the middle of the mission, they show the mission screen again, except with a different location on it. It's like, okay, I need to get to this place now. But did you have to treat it like another mission?
Maybe it's just a programming thing where the game is always programmed to show a mission thing every time you go in and out of the underworld.
Not really.
Oh.
It only happens during this. It shows you the castle courtyard saying, get to the front of the castle. Okay, no shit.
Play the game.
I actually forgot I needed to beat these enemies, but there's a curse door here. Fortunately...
Good thing they followed you.
Fortunately, they followed me, and I'm in a very narrow hallway. You know what that means. Yuck. It's time for Nightmare Beta's swan song, because we're not going to see this weapon again ever in the series. There's Artemis in Devil May Cry 3, which is sort of similar, but not really. And in Devil May Cry 2, when Trish is underwater, if you unlock her, she has a Nightmare Gamma weapon, which is basically just a substitute for the needle gun.
So I assume that means Trish isn't dead, then.
No, she's not.
She appears in 4.
Oh.
Not that her appearance in Devil May Cry 2 is canon at all. She's just sort of an unlockable extra. Very fun, though. But we get to this room and the timer is no longer an issue. The floor caves in underneath us. And this is... Okay, this room is our final taste of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The room in the sewers where we fought the goddamn bugs is our final boss arena.
That's...
It's very anticlimactic.
I know that those are devil letters, but I gotta wonder what they were actually spelling. Like, was it like, you prick...
Gia Kazim!
Eat at Joe's! Eat at Joe's, motherfucker!
Who is this Joe?
Gary was here, Ash is a loser.
This is the part where, it really starts to feel like Resident Evil, because you can see this thing's like muscles and brain through chunks of broken statue skin, and as you fight, you'll break off more pieces. He grows hands and stuff, and his face breaks off, and you see his 3 eyes, because he has 3 eyes. Did I mention that? His 3 eyes are on stalks.
Oh, man, this guy's a wimp. You're, like, owning him.
Yeah, he's really easy to kill. He doesn't really do much, either.
Let me give you a hand.
Oh god, this thing is like one big graphical glitch that they just decided to keep in the game for some reason.
Yeah, I think I saw the same thing happen to Nam and Jaden in Heavy Rain.
Suddenly, Trish. How did you get here? Al, you remember how I said there was a rocket launcher? This is the rocket launcher.
It's a magic rocket launcher?
It's a whole fuck ton of demon energy that you just pump into your handguns. The object of the quote-unquote rocket launcher moment here is to charge your Devil Trigger up to at least three charges so that you can activate Devil Trigger mode. Once you're in Devil Trigger, shoot once. That's all you need to do.
It looks like we have a winner.
And
CG
it switches to
cutscene.
CG. It switches to CG for this. And then it switches back to in-game for Dante's response. And then it switches back to CG again.
I will return in a much-hated reboot.
The next time we see Mundus, he's going to be an evil, bald banker dude.
Give my regards to my son, will ya?
Thus was the Belmont clan born. Wait, no.
So that's how it started.
Yeah, years later, the documents would get all mixed up and people would mistranslate Dante into Trevor for some reason. It's weird.
Somehow they thought Alucard was involved. I don't know where they got that idea.
Well, Dante and Alucard in Symphony of the Night are both white-haired pretty boys.
Trish, devils never cry.
But
Devils Never
that's
Cry
the
is...
title of the game, Devil May Cry.
Okay, this is something that they just completely ignore in all the sequels because they realize it was a stupid fucking idea. But in the ending, Dante actually renames his shop from Devil May Cry to Devil Never Cry.
But then in Devil
So
May Cry 4,
what is it, like a mistranslation or something like that? Or
No,
it's just a stupid idea that they decided to say fuck it.
They just decided to ignore it in the sequels because nobody liked it. So it's just like, okay, forget it. That never happened.
So,
in-
Devil May Cry
in-
4 and 2, it's called Devil May Cry again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tornado. Thanks, Tails.
Down, wow, wow,
It is the tornado. In Devil May Cry 3, they actually give significance to the name Devil May Cry as to, why he named his shop that. So that's part of why they ignored Devil Never Cry after this. This sequence is really hard to control. Basically, if you don't want to take damage, just spam the gun button, because you're not going to dodge any of this shit. It's impossible to perceive depth while this is spinning and stuff around you.
So it is the same ending as Resident Evil 4.
this thing's a
It
hell of a
is.
lot more durable than the jet ski, though.
Yeah.
That jet ski
And-
crashes into anything and explodes.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I hit everything that I pass.
How much do you have to replay if you die here?
I think you probably just have to replay the escape sequence. In any case, the yellow orb takes you to the room you last escaped, so at most, the final boss that took no time at all to kill. Does this remind anyone else of Prison Island?
Shut up. We're already making the parallels, my friend. And now Trish will ask Dante for some overtime. Oh god, that's gross.
The sky is fair. It'll always be above everyone's head, no different.
Like the sky.
Are they trying to be all, like, all...
Philosophical?
Waxing
Yeah.
poetic, yeah.
The story in Devil May Cry 1 wasn't particularly good to begin with, but it just sort of all falls apart during the last 10 minutes.
The underworld's evil is still alive. They will someday return.
Basically, the only...
I said the evil will return!
Sequel, it's called sequel baiting.
Funnily enough, none of the sequels actually involve the return of Mundus.
Yet, anyway.
Oh. In any case...
And I say yet because you and I both know they're going to go back to the original continuity after everyone hated DMC.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean they need to get Mundus back. I mean, they had Sanctus in 4, they had Arkham in 3. They had Arius in 2. God damn, that guy was annoying.
5 minutes.
Oh, so Trish now uses Sparta for some reason.
Yeah, that's actually a point that they keep in 4. She's actually the person who brings Sparta to the island.
Okay, so that
I wanna call-
actually looked an awful lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Because, like, I said at the beginning of the playthrough that I basically had zero interest in Devil May Cry, and, you know, watching this, it actually ended up looking like a lot more fun than I thought it was going to.
It's a very fun game. The story in the first game kind of sucks, and the second game is worth skipping over, like, actively skipping over. Don't play it. But
3 and 4 are still good games.
3 and 4 are good, yeah. 3 has the most solid plot, and overall it's probably the best game. I like the combat in 4 better, though, and the enemy lineup is a little more various. But yeah, now we get to watch Dante and Trish swinging their swords and kicking nothing. Kicking the air in glorious, blurry motion CG.
The series in general is just something I have on the back burner for such a long ass time. I own every game in the series except for the reboot. I just have yet to sit down and play the game.
Well,
Fully, anyway. I've sampled, I just never really fully played the game.
is there, like, any reason for it, or, like, how long have you owned most of these?
I've had... The one I've owned the longest was DMC3. Because I heard that was the best one. So I figured I'd start there. But
Still
then...
is.
then I just figured, you know what, I might as well just get the series in general, and because I found them all for real cheap. Like, I didn't spend more
Yeah.
than $15 for the first of the other 3 games. Like, I found DMC 1 and 2 and 4, and I spent like less than $15.
Yeah, if you can find the PS2 versions of these games, they're all like $7 or under. They're all bargain bin games at this point. 4 is pretty cheap used, too.
Yeah.
What about the HD collection? How much does that normally go for?
About... I think I got mine for $15 to $20.
Oh, okay, well, that's actually pretty decent deal overall, then.
Well, it's only 2 of the games in the collection are worth playing. The Devil May Cry 2 is in there for some reason, I guess, because it's part of the trilogy, sort of, even though it has nothing to do with it.
It's called Devil May Cry 2. It belongs.
It has a number at the end of the title. Dante is in there, technically.
Technically.
He's a
So wait,
playable
hold on, wait a
character.
minute. Is Dante in Devil May Cry 2 is Dante before Dante?
In no
You know,
sense, yeah.
In Beautiful Joe, in Dante's story in Beautiful Joe, he actually makes a wisecrack about someone who stole his coat and ran off to some island.
Yeah.
It was Kamiya saying, "Nope, that's not Dante." I just want to say I like this credits theme. I really do like this credits theme. I think it's a beautiful piece.
So, Lewis, do you want to give the audience a hint of what's the next Devil May Cry game we're gonna do?
Devil May Cry 2,
The
of
one-
course. He's shown so much enthusiasm about that one. He just wants to
It's
jump
one-
right in.
I'll give you a clue. It's one of the ones with Virgil in it.
Oh,
So, like,
Unfortunately, it's the worst one.
Alright. The only thing left to show is the results screen. At the end of every playthrough, they get... Well, first of all, we haven't seen the mission clear screen for Mission 23 yet, so here it is.
399 orbs.
Damn it!
what's
I only
with
got
the
a B
music
rank.
box, music.
It's a music box remix of the theme that was playing during the credits, I think.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah, and we have ourselves the mission ranking for the entire playthrough.
Because
All our
of that, the
rankings. It also tallies up the number of combos we got. I got 20 stylish combos, which is actually pretty good for me, because I rarely ever get stylish rankings in this game.
So does it give you, like, an overall rank for how well you did over the entire game? Or...
No, I don't think so. I don't think it does. It only took 5 hours to beat this game, though.
Go
then
challenge
it-
the hard mode. English.
no.
No, I'm done. I beat the game. Fuck you. I got all the blue orbs.
Right, It's funny how you say "fuck you" to that because when the video ended, I'm loading this one up on YouTube, and the thing that popped up on the suggested videos was a DMC Dante giving me the finger.
wait. Is it Hayden's video? Is
It's
it
Hayden's
why?
video, yes.
It's why Dante from DMC is a bad character. I recommend that video, by the way. It expresses my opinions on that game a bit better than I could.
We're gonna try anyway.
We're gonna try. Yep. In any case, quick comment on the hard mode. Hard mode in Devil May Cry 1 is a lot more painful to go through than in any of the other Devil May Cry games, so if you're going to play through hard mode in this game, be ready for it. That's all I have to say. It's been a fun playthrough. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Have a nice... What time of day are we? It's probably midnight when this is being published.
It's a Tuesday. So have a nice 1 in the morning.